The space roar is a radio signal from outer space. Discovered by NASA's Alan Coggett and his team, the announcement was made at the 213th meeting of the American Astronomical Society on January 7, 2009. Described as a loud hiss, the team discovered the signal while trying to find traces of heat from first-generation stars using an arcade radiometer. This instrument is designed to detect radiation at centimeter wavelengths. Those signals from radio galaxies have been detected before. The space roar sounds 6 times louder than what is predicted from those sources. Scientists have yet to explain its source. NASA scientists have currently ruled out primordial stars and all other known radio sources. The roar currently limits the study of the universe's earliest stars. China's Qinghai province near Mount Baigong are 3 caves filled with pipes leading to a nearby saltwater lake. There are also pipes under the lake bed and on the shore. The iron pipes range in size, with some smaller than a toothpick. The strangest part is that they may be about 150,000 years old. The pipes are cleanly cut and not jagged, so they appear to have had a use at one time. This all seems mundane, some pipes sticking out of the ground in China, but archaeologists dated the pipes to a time when humanity was just getting familiar with fire, making casting iron impossible. The stone spheres, or stone balls, of Costa Rica are an assortment of over 300 petrospheres in Costa Rica, located on the Diquis Delta and on Isla del Quino. Locally, they are known as Las Bolas. The spheres range in size from a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter, and weigh up to 15 tons. Most are sculpted from gabbro, the coarse-grained equivalent of basalt. There are a dozen or so made from shell-rich limestone, and another dozen made from a sandstone. It has been claimed that the spheres are perfect, or very near perfect in roundness, although some spheres are known to vary over 5 centimeters in diameter. Also, the stones have been damaged and eroded over the years, and so it is impossible to know exactly their original shape. Numerous myths surround the stones, such as they came from Atlantis, or that they were made as such by nature. Some local legends state that the native inhabitants had access to a potion able to soften the rock. The Baghdad Battery is believed to be about 2,000 years old. The jar was found in Qujrabu, just outside Baghdad, and is composed of a clay jar with a stopper made of asphalt. Sticking through the asphalt is an iron rod surrounded by a copper cylinder. When filled with vinegar, or any other electrolytic solution, the jar produces about 1.1 volts. There is no written record as to the exact function of the jar, but the best guess is that it was a type of battery. Scientists believe the batteries, if that is their correct function, were used to electroplate items such as putting a layer of one gold metal onto the surface of another silver, a method still practiced in Iraq today. Handedness is a better performance or individual preference for use of a hand. Handedness is not a discrete variable, right or left, but a continuous one that can be expressed at levels between strong left and strong right. Around 90% of people being right-handed. The cause of this bias remains largely a mystery. Researchers haven't quite figured that out yet, but some believe it's a complex collaboration between genes and environment. There isn't a distinct gene that indicates left-handedness, however, there is a difference between brain capabilities in righties and lefties. The famed crystal skulls of ancient Mesoamerica have been a source of mystery and controversy for decades. The handful of known skulls have defied even the most advanced scientific efforts to determine who made them, when, and most puzzling, how. Many believe these skulls were carved thousands or even tens of thousands of years ago, by an ancient Mesoamerican civilization. Others think they may be relics from the legendary island of Atlantis, or proof that extraterrestrials visited the Aztec sometime before the Spanish conquest. The fact remains that no one knows for sure who made these skulls, and when. And since there is currently no way to accurately determine the age of such inorganic objects, the mystery will likely continue. The Mpemba Effect, named after Aristo Mpemba, is the observation that, in some circumstances, warmer water can freeze faster than colder water. Although there is evidence of the effect, there is disagreement on exactly what the effect is and under what circumstances it occurs. There have been reports of similar phenomena since ancient times, although with insufficient detail for the claims to be replicated. A number of possible explanations for the effect have been proposed. Further investigations will need to decide on a precise definition of freezing and control a vast number of starting parameters in order to confirm or explain the effect. A placebo is a simulated, or otherwise medically ineffectual treatment for a disease, or other medical condition intended to deceive the recipient. The word placebo comes from the Latin for, "I shall please." Sometimes patients given a placebo treatment will have a perceived, or actual improvement in a medical condition, a phenomenon commonly called the placebo effect. The effects of a placebo, or dummy, treatment cannot come from the actual treatment itself. In other words, the placebo effect explains why people report feeling better when they think they are taking medicine, but aren't actually receiving the treatment. The placebo effect itself remains mysterious. Doctors still have questions about how it operates, and why its effect can be large, small, or non-existent for a given treatment or patient. China's Terracotta Army, one of the grandest archaeological discoveries in history, was unearthed by two farmers who were digging for a well back in 1974. They found not one, but thousands of clay soldiers, each with unique facial expressions and positioned according to rank. And though largely gray today, patches of paint hint at once brightly colored clothes. Further excavations have revealed swords, arrow tips, and other weapons, many in pristine condition. The army was created around 209 BCE for the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. The soldiers are in trench-like, underground corridors. In some of the corridors, clay horses are aligned four abreast, behind them are wooden chariots. The Terracotta Army, as it is known, is part of an elaborate mausoleum created to accompany the first emperor of China into the afterlife, according to archaeologists. The Voynich Manuscript is an illustrated codex handwritten in an unknown writing system. The vellum in the book pages has been carbon dated to the early 15th century, and may have been composed in northern Italy during the Italian Renaissance. The manuscript is named after Wilfrid Voynich, a Polish book dealer who purchased it in 1912. The pages of the codex are vellum. Some of the pages are missing, but about 240 remain. The text is written from left to right, and most of the pages have illustrations or diagrams. The Voynich manuscript has been studied by many professional and amateur cryptographers, including American and British code breakers from both World War I and World War II. No one has yet succeeded in deciphering the text, and it has become a famous case in the history of cryptography. The mystery of the meaning and origin of the manuscript has excited the popular imagination, making the manuscript the subject of novels and speculation. None of the many hypotheses proposed over the last 100 years has yet been independently verified.